Good morning this morning, guys. This is coming from northern Nigeria, the home of insecurity, hunger, religious intolerance, disease, and joblessness. Here is the governor of Sokoto State, Ahmad Aliyu, eating with alamajiri. Alamajiri is a term referred to homeless beggars in the street, floating the streets of northern Nigeria. This is a recent update. Funny, right? Maybe very good. I am not here to bug you with rhetorics, but you see what is happening? Are you watching the unfolding event? I don't want to tell you how insecurity Boko Haram Alamajiri came to be, but I just want to give you a fact. The northern Nigeria has dominated the Nigeria political circle since independence. The northern Nigeria has been in power indefinitely, directly or indirectly, at the top of it all. Now, I don't want to tell you much, but just want to brief you that recently, last week, a northern cleric, was appointed or nominated by the northern elders to negotiate for the release of the abducted almost 300 children, school children. Do you know what negotiation means? Money. And each time they kidnap them or abduct them, the negotiator comes. And the negotiator moves around on all the radio stations, televisions, granting interviews and telling them that they should respect those guys, that are just kidnapping children, that are not problematic. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And one would say eating with almajiri. Almajiri, like I told you, is a term regard to the homeless beggars. They float the streets of northern Nigeria. One would say these people have been in power for almost ever. So what is the impact of their politics, or what is the impact of their leadership? Now, I don't want to stress much. I want you to listen to this, which is not coming from me in 3 minutes, but from Wayan International and Indian-owned television. Listen to that, and that is it all.
Our next story is from Nigeria. Last week, we told you about a kidnapping. Almost 300 students were taken from their school during morning assembly. This was last Thursday. The children still haven't been found, and no group has taken responsibility yet, but the kidnappers are expected to demand a large ransom for their release. Now, if this was happening on your watch, what would you do? Send out the army, go meet the families of the victims, set up base in the affected town until the children are found. All good options. But Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has different ideas. He did fly out yesterday, but he landed about 150 kilometers south of the affected village. He went to a different state. Why? To inaugurate an airport that has been renamed after him. So amid a spree of kidnappings, Nigeria's president chooses to inaugurate the Bola Tinubu airport. A crisis is unfolding under his nose, but Tinubu is busy cutting ribbons, which begs the question, how tone deaf can you be? How can you ignore the plight of your citizens? These are some families from Kuriga, the village where the children were kidnapped.
We plead with the government to help us. We don't have any security in this community, no police outpost, no military presence, and no local vigilante. We are responsible for our own security, so anytime they want, they will invade the community and do whatever they feel like doing.
We don't know what to do, but we believe in God. We don't have security, no soldiers, no police to protect the school.
This problem we are facing, we are crying, looking for help from the government and God. But it is the gunmen that will decide to bring the children back.
They say they haven't received any help from the government. They're at the mercy of the bandits, and they're anxiously waiting to get their children back. In this situation, inaugurating an airport seems absurd. Now, the Nigerian government will say that they are on top of things. They have reportedly deployed the army. They're apparently working with the Air Force and local vigilante groups as well. But so far, there have been no updates on the whereabouts of the children. Meanwhile, there have been more kidnappings. On Saturday, 15 more school children were taken, this time in the country's far north. In another case, kidnappers have come out with their ransom demand. This is for 16 people who were kidnapped on the 28th of February. The kidnappers allegedly want 14 trillion naira. That's about 25 billion US dollars. Of course, that's a ridiculous amount. But it shows the impunity of the kidnappers. They've been getting bolder over the last few months. Since Tinubu came to power last May, an estimated 4,500 people have been kidnapped across the country. This is according to a consultancy based in Lagos in southern Nigeria. 4,500 kidnappings in the last 9 months on Tinubu's watch. It adds to his growing list of scandals. He's appointed his son-in-law to a high government post. His economic policies have caused the naira to crash. The people have been suffering with rising inflation and now kidnappings are rampant again. Amid all this chaos, Tinubu chooses to put his name on an airport. It shows his misplaced priorities and utter lack of tact.
To help them to win election by causing problem. So today one kidnap, one negotiator comes from somewhere and they send army, send all that, speaking grammar, they're killing your armies, doing all that in the name of fighting insecurity, budgeting so much money, trillion every month, trillion every year, trillion every, sharing those things. That is government. That is how you wanted it. And you want this to continue. And let me tell you, the Western powers are benefiting from this. If you don't know, if you think it is just only because when the confusion is there, deals will be going on. Nobody will care asking. And you are hungry. You don't even care because you're interested in getting your stomach filled up. So you are distracted from the politics completely. You don't know what you're saying. You don't know what to do. You don't know. What did I even know? Do I know what I'm saying? Man, I'm just keeping it real. There is fire on the mountain, a serious fire that is beyond ordinary fire. Stand up for what is right.